Good morning. Today is Sunday, the 27th, 27th of November of 2022, and it's 9:26 in the morning, and I'm coming to you live from the comfort of my grandma's house where I live, and I'm starting my first podcast. So, podcast number one, topic, mental health. God has brought me through a lot of things over the years during the worst times that I had with mental health. God was always there, just like His word says. It says, God will never leave you nor forsake you. It's true, even when you can't feel Him, even if it feels as if God left, He is still there, and He knows just what you need. Hold on. What you need. Even before we speak or ask Him, during my battles with mental health, I know the struggles of just wanting to give up. Don't do it. Even if or when it seems to be the best option, don't give up. If I would have given up and was able to succeed and take my life, I would never and okay and was able to succeed in taking my life, I would never have known the joy I have now because I chose to endure in the end. And what I mean by joy, I am learning what it means to live for the first time in years. Last time I was living was when my sister and I with my grandma. We were kids. But things were toxic at our house growing up, and with our biological mom and our stepdad. And it's true, yeah, times get hard, and you try everything you can to try and impress them. You try everything you can to feel wanted, feel needed, to feel respected, to fit in. But that wasn't the case. Our mom was not the greatest, but that's okay. That's just who she is. We all have our flaws, but she just lets the flaws get the best of her, which this time around she's trying to, looks like, to do her best to try to leave the flaws behind and try to do something right for once in life, trying to have an honest relationship with us kids, with my sister and I. Now, with the things with suicide, it's not the simplest solution. I have definitely tried that over the years, and it has not been easy. I tried it in 2011. I should be dead right now. I tried tying towel on my neck. And I did a special way where, because I had the old bunk bed part where I was making sure that I had enough tension on it, on my neck where my windpipe is, so that way I could easily take my own life. I tried that at least 8 times in 2011. I went to a youth convention that year, the fall that actually the last few days of October, because it usually in the 30th, the 1st, the 30th, 31st, and then the 1st of November. Usually how it ran. Last, 2 or 3 days of the month. The first day of the new month, depending on if it was 2 days left of the month of October. I remember Reggie Debs was talking about Halloween, what it really was all about. It's also an amazing convention. If I was still able to go to this day, I would, because it still feels like home. But I went through a lot. I was struggling with a lot of things in life. I just didn't know how to navigate through it. Because, you're not given a book with the rules saying this is how you navigate this stuff. Because you don't know how to navigate through it. But, all in all, it was great. Because at youth convention, Reggie Debs was talking about Truth About Halloween. And I remember I just looked at one of the adults in our group. I said, if he don't hurry up in like 5 minutes, I'm going to kill myself. What I was going to do is I was going to go outside the convention on the cross, go onto the road, wait for a vehicle. I didn't care if it was a truck, bus, car. I didn't care what it was. I'd wait till last second so they could not even stop. It'll be last second, it's a split second, and then take my own life. And then I finally just decided to change my idea of that. Wait, give him 10 minutes. I finally said, if you don't finish the next 2 minutes, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. I just couldn't handle life anymore. I just was suffering too much, and I just couldn't bear the weight anymore of what I was going through. Then the word got around to Reggie Debs. He closed out his message, which he never finished. He said, "Who here in this convention center, a youth convention here, that's suicidal, that wants to take their own life?" And almost every hand was raised. I know, actually, every hand was raised except for like 10 to 14 people did not have their hands raised. That was everybody, youth pastors, the youth. Even at the time, anyone was allowed in to, attend at the time before they changed the ruling. And there was an elderly couple that I saw up in, top row, very top row in there, and they just watched. And I remember when I raised my hand, I was weeping like a baby, because I was just going through so much. I didn't know what to do. So we were told to come down to the front by the stage there, so I did. And there I met a young lady's youth pastor. I don't remember her name, because I don't actually recall her name, actually. And she laid hands on me, and she just was weeping, and I fell to the floor. I just couldn't even brace myself anymore. I couldn't even hold myself up. I just collapsed to the floor, laying on my belly, because I just couldn't stand up anymore. The weight of what I was going through, I couldn't take it anymore, because what I have endured was not pretty in life. But life always deals you an ugly hand at times, and it will. And I've heard many people say that Christianity is all about religion. There's no religion about it. It's about having a relationship with a God that I can tell you without shed out lives, because I'm living proof. If it wasn't for him, I'd be dead right now. I'd be sitting in a grave, in a cold, hard box underneath the ground, if he didn't exist, and if he wasn't real, because I can verify that. He had died to me before the hellish stuff that I had to go through as a child, living in the house in general, manifested itself into a nasty mess. And it was not fun. Childhood was definitely struggled. You tried to gain the affection of your father, which in my case was my stepdad. For others it's the same thing. But he didn't know how to love. That's one thing I learned. He didn't know how to love. But I know he was carrying his own burdens of his own, till the blind rage just kicked in. What a blind rage is, I'm going to explain that if you don't understand that. The way I can look at it with my stepdad, it was this. Simple as this. You have a lot of this steam or hot air where you're able to vent. And the day that just your vent shuts off or it gets clogged and you explode. Everything that you've been holding back, all the emotional baggage, just rips at the seams. Sorry about that. I paused for a moment because I had to shut off my alarm. But what happens is that, imagine yourself inside a body. Imagine yourself going through a blind rage. It's like you're trying to pull the emergency brakes, trying to stand on the brakes of your vehicle and pull the emergency brake in your vehicle at the same time, and nothing's working. You're screaming, "Stop. No, I don't want to do this." And you can't stop. So if your body just does what it wants, because that's just how it goes. Because it's unleashing all what was inside. And it's a very ugly time. I was the target, yes. I can admit that. I did many beatings, name calling, basically anything. I got it physically, mentally, emotionally. I even had a sexual thing, but that really was over very quickly as it came. It just lasted only like 2 years, but that's okay. I moved forward in life. But I went forward in life stuck in a pattern because I didn't know how to get out. Then EMDR came about. I learned all about EMDR. And Brennan Wagner, I'm thankful for him, who is now in heaven. He passed away June the 3rd of this year. So he's been gone for a while. And he's the one that we talked about all the time. So finally, when I asked him what it was and I did more research, I decided to go into it. And I've been going, let's see, almost 4 months now. Next month will be 4 months that I've been going to the EMDR, and it's been great. It's helped me move forward. I was able to actually deal with, but EMDR is what trauma is to a person, and was people that live in survival mode or have CPSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. Disorder, I should say, not syndrome, but disorder. What it is you have all this trauma that was done to you, and you haven't been able to deal with the wounds and the scars and the trauma and the pain. And what it just does is it just eats away at you until because your brain had no way of processing it, didn't know how to process it. So EMDR, you go back to those memories with a device, either a vibrator thing, you hold these two, one in each hand, it vibrates, or the new way, which is where you follow a dot, focus on the wall, and then they ask a question to keep part of your brain distracted as you bring forth your truth, your memories that you don't remember, but your brain remembers, and it helps you deal with it and helps you to process those hard things to process. So when those flashbacks come, there's no more pain attached to them, no more hurtful things attached to them. And for me, it's awesome because now I'm able to serve God, and I've met some amazing people in my time. I'll be honest. If it wasn't for a drug dealer, I would not be alive today. Because in 2012, 2013, one of those 2 years, I met one. He actually asked me, what am I doing on the edge of the curb? And I said, I'm going to jump in front of a vehicle. He goes, no, you're not. But he wondered. He told me exactly what he was thinking. What would make a young man like me, who's in high school, a junior in high school, or a sophomore or junior in high school, that would make him want to, what is going through in life that makes him want to do this? But his friend was just walking home, so he spotted his friend and called his friend over, and they clotheslined me to the ground. Actually, his friend did, and held me there, and the drug lord caught my head, and he actually made me promise that I was not going to go in front, that I would not kill myself anymore. Wasn't even going to try any suicidal attempts. My life, if I was going to still attempt, he was not going to offer me until I promised. He said, tell me to talk. You can meet at the park, but don't do drugs. He goes, I'm very young. He was about my age, actually a little old. He was probably about 18, 19 years old. And he says, don't do drugs because it takes you into this. It's like you don't want to be in. He goes, I'm right now trying to get out. I've been trying for years to get out of the drug business, but it's not that simple. And he said, don't ever script your life like I did. Do something you're going to regret for the rest of your life. You got a lot to live for. And yes, God has called me to be a pastor since I was a child, a very little child. And I'm doing the podcast here, the first one, because that's what God told me to do a podcast. So I am. I know it seems a little lengthy, but that's my background of who I am. My mental struggles have been difficult. The times you don't want to push forward. The times you just seclude yourself from everybody and you just become a recluse and you just hide away from everybody. But it's best you face your fears. And you may wonder, do I work? No. I'm disabled physically. I have a really bad spine that literally, it goes out so bad, and even I was told by 3 different coppers, even Coppers USA, that if I would try, they would not even hire me because I'm too of a high risk for them. I'm more of a liability to them, and they would not want me as a high liability to any company. But that's me. And am I on disability? No. Because I'm debating what I want to do with the Felt Like Officer. I fought with them before and it was a mess. Accept, deny, back and forth, and they finally deny me. But it's just the way the world goes. And if you look for an amazing group for anybody that's struggling with mental health, for any reason, just go visit anthemofhope.com. And then there's I'm going to look it up here because I've been to the site in a long time. But if you go to anthemofhope.com, you go to, let's see, and then go to get help, click on there and go to support group, and it'll take you to the Facebook group that they have, and they don't discriminate. You meet people from all over the world in that group, and it's 2 questions, simple. I've done it and I've been in it. It's been amazing. Even though I don't post much anymore like I used to, I actually hardly post at all. I just comment on some people's things once in a while. But it's been a blessing because it's a community that cares. And if you need someone to talk to, they are there for you. and they will say, I'll DM you if you say you need somebody. Done. I've DM'd you or PM'd you, saying that they messaged you, letting you know that they are there to help and to help you through every step of the way. And it's an amazing group. So check it out. And I'll see you guys again for another day.